dress up your white tee. I'll do you dirty, yeah.
Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's the one and only Mimi here. If you're new here, make sure you go ahead and click that red subscribe button to join my squad with this client horror story. Now this was very recent and I really don't understand this story, and if you can leave some helpful comments down below, go ahead, because I'm at loss for words for this. Was I in the wrong? Was this client in the wrong? I don't know. Like I said, this happened recent. Everybody knows my birthday's in March 23rd. I just had a birthday. Yay, go me, happy birthday, whatever, cool. So I was, I have a lot of things to do. When I'm not doing hair related stuff, I'm doing social media stuff. So I made sure that I got my deadlines together. I made sure that I got all my hair appointments and all that other stuff out the way before, my big weekend, because I did work a little bit on my birthday, but I wanted to make sure that I had everything, out of the way so I'm not feeling overwhelmed. So, if people want to get their hair done, they can still get their hair done. And I'm just, getting everybody out the way before my big weekend, because normally I work a lot on the weekends, but Saturday and Sunday, this was the weekend where I was going to have my birthday bash party, whatever, going out, just have some me time, which I should be able to do that since I never really do that. So this client, we basically had this conversation in early March, I believe, like right when March 1st happened, and she was inquiring about getting tape-ins. I do tape-in installs. I think this is one of my favorite installs to do. I really enjoy them. Like, they're really cool. Like, I like the versatility. I like that, the client feels very confident after it. And I feel like that is on like my top 5 things that I like to do in the services that I provide. So, when it comes to customer service, I try to do my best. I'm very responsive. I answer all questions. Even if they're repetitive or stuff that is like kind of common sense to me, I still will answer them. Any question you have, I try to do my best to answer it. If I don't have the resources, I will try to find resources to give to you. I'm very, like, I guess, great when it comes to customer service, just because I feel like people hold Black-owned businesses at a higher pedestal than other businesses. Like, they wait for their mess up, they wait for their downfall just so they can bash them on social media. I don't know why people do that, but they do that. That's just personally how I feel, my opinion, how people hold Black-owned businesses at that higher stake, I guess. Just because they want them to mess up, they want them to not give great customer service, they want them to provide a bad service just so that they can go out their way and trash talk this business or bash them on social media, all that. So I guess in my way to try to avoid that, I try to make up for everything with great customer service, great services, basically being very helpful and, open about everything. That's just me though. So like I said, she asked about inquiring about a service for tape-ins, and she booked it. She booked her initial booking date was March 15th. That's when she initially booked, was March 15th. And I'm like, cool. So how I have my people booked, they do have to fill out a consent form. They have to fill out a client intake form, just so I know how to better prepare myself for your service, just so there's no, surprises or anything. Because like when you ask people, do the consultation, oh, do you have allergies? They'll be like, no, but if you have a form right in front of them, they can actually really think about any allergies. And when I say allergies, I'm not talking about just seasonal. I'm talking about like any allergies they have that might be in products that I might use that I need to look out for. Like, hey, don't use this product on this person's hair. Anything that they want me to know, they can let me know in this form. Oh, I don't want you to use this shampoo in my hair. Oh, I have this type of hair, I need this type of treatment done, or this. Like, my services are very informative. They're very like, it's not just me making all them, it's very interactive. Like, I let the client have a lot of say when I'm doing their hair, just so I like that feedback. Like, I like that verbal talking, verbal agreement. Like, we have a clear, good understanding. So like, I try to do my part so that nothing's confusing, if that makes sense. So she lets me know that she's looking for, hairstylists for an event, and she has coarse type of hair. And when people, like, I do ask people what type of hair type they have, like coarse, medium, or fine. It doesn't really matter to me. It just helps for me to know what you know, if what I need to do. I work on all types of hair, so a lot of people, you'd be surprised, a lot of people be in my DM like, oh, do you work on kinky hair? Do you work on, I just need to find someone who works. I work on all types of hair. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I grew up on working on 4C hair. I can do anybody's hair. Like, it's really nothing. So I'm like, cool. So she reaches out to me and asks me if I provide the hair for tapings. Now, on my booking site, it does say I do not provide hair. Like, it says that in bold lettering. It says I don't provide hair unless we made arrangements prior to it. And I already knew, for me, my vendor, I told you I have a hairline. My hairline is not back up yet, but if people need me to get hair, I can do that. Now, for tapings, I already knew that for my vendor, it was going to take about 3 to 4 weeks to come. And if her appointment was on March 15th, which was coming up, I knew in my head that it was not going to come in time. So I let her know again, no, I don't provide hair, but I gave her links that my clients have used hair that I have worked with on their hair before. So I gave her a link to, like, one of my clients. She always has like this best hair that matches her texture. And then also give her some hairy links that, you know, other clients have brought from Amazon. So like I said, like, I'm always trying to give out resources. Like, I'm not just going to leave you out in a stray, especially if you don't know what you're doing. I'm going to try to find resources for you. So I gave her about like 5 different links. Cool. She was like, thanks, cool. You know, she was asking more questions like, oh, should I go to the beauty supply store? I personally said no, not to go to the beauty supply store, because I'm not familiar. I don't think that they would have tapings extensions. I know where in the area that I am, they don't. And most likely it's not going to be good quality. So I was like, your best bet if you want something like quick is Amazon. You know what I'm saying? I guess she didn't want to do that, and I'm not going to force anyone to do that. So about, like, it was the 15th. That came and went. She basically rescheduled for the 18th. Okay, so this is her first reschedule. Now, I normally let my clients reschedule a total of 2 times with the same deposit. Anything after 2 times, you have to send a whole nother deposit, because what are you doing, sis? What are you doing? Because you're taking up space from somebody that could have booked, and I could have made my money. This is how I make my money. This is how I feed my daughter. This is how I pay my bills. Like, people really do not understand that this is a whole career. Like, this is a whole job. Like, if you were getting paid to service someone and people do no shows and they just don't come, like, you would feel really pissed off if this is your only way to make your money, if this is your only way to pay that bill, if this is your only way to pay your rent. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people really don't understand. Like, I think it's a lot, like, with the beauty community, like beauty industry, people who get these services done, they don't think that, oh, this is how this person pays their rent, this is how this person makes a living. Like, it's not just a hobby. This is a whole job, at least for me. Like, this is how I make my money. Like, come on. So she reschedules, and I'm like, okay, didn't think nothing of it. I'm just like, okay, she's probably waiting on the hair. Cool. That came and went. The 18th came and went, and then she rescheduled for another day. She scheduled for the 25th of March. So basically, I'm seeing a pattern with her. I was feeling like she was basically rescheduling the whole month of March, and that is income that I was counting on. Like, good thing that I have other clients, you know, but it's like, if I was really counting on that service to, like, pay a bill or something like that, like, I would have been left astray, and people really don't understand that. So I'm like, cool. So then the 25th, it was like a day before the 25th. 25th was like a Friday or something. I get a notification that she rescheduled again. So this makes her 3rd reschedule. So I let her know that I will be charging her a new $25 deposit, because at this point you have been rescheduling the whole entire time of March. Like, you've been playing with me the whole entire March. And I understand, yes, you're waiting on hair, but that's not my problem. I don't understand why people make appointments when they don't have the hair in their hand just yet. Like, I normally, like, I don't know, maybe it's not, like, maybe people don't really think like this, but I always wait till I get my hair to make my appointments, because things happen, delays happen, and why am I going to take up a space for somebody else that could have been booking and really wanted that appointment? Because I literally had to turn away a lot of people in the month of March because I had limited availability, especially because those was my birthday weekend. A lot of people wanted that weekend, and I was like, no. And, like, I had other clients that literally booked up my schedule, so I had to turn people away because I didn't have any space to do their service. and for this person to be holding a spot and just rescheduling. So it's not fair to me, it's not fair to those other people who really wanted a spot and really wanted to get their hair done by me. Like, I literally had to turn away people, like new networking and potential money earnings for me. Like, what? So I let her know that I would have to be charging her since this is her third rescheduling. Like, you're going to basically want to be rescheduling. So she hit me up and was like, this is only my second reschedule, I don't know why I'm being charged, this, that, and the other. Like, basically trying to go back and forth with me when it's written on my policy. And at first I was like, maybe I'm tripping. So I checked and I was like, no, I'm not tripping. So I was like, I literally gave her all the days that she rescheduled. I was like, this is your third reschedule. So I was like, I normally let people reschedule 2 times with the same deposit, but anything after 2 times, you'll get charged another deposit, because at this point, I don't know what's happening. And she was like, you know, she's waiting on the hair, so it's not really in her control. But at the end of the day, that's not my problem. And I hope that I was being very professional in the comments. I try not to, you know, I try to be as professional as possible, but still stick to my policy. Because at the end of the day, like I said, this is how I make my majority of my money. This is how I make my money. This is how I feed my daughter. This is how I pay rent. This is how I do what I do. And you're holding a spot, and it was a morning spot, and my morning spots on the weekends and stuff, those are very, very popular for people to book up early. So I'm like, you're holding this spot and you're taking this spot away from people who would actually want this appointment, actually wanted to come and do this and that and other. And it's like, it's kind of inconsiderate. So I let her know. I was like, okay, well, this is your third time booking. If you reschedule another time, then I'm going to have to keep charging you every time you reschedule after the 2 times, because at this point I don't understand. Like, this has basically been a whole month that you're waiting on hair. I don't really understand. So yeah, so I wake up to a notification that she just basically canceled her appointment. Well, that the initial deposit is mine, because there's no refunds, no nothing like that, because at this point you had a whole month. And I understand things are happening and things, I'm very, you know, but you got to work with me. If I'm working with you, you have to work with me. If I'm being professional with you, don't question why are you being charged a fee when you've basically been rescheduling the whole entire month of March. Especially, like, I have to, like, kind of plan out my schedule, and I had to tell people I couldn't take them. I didn't have enough, you know, to take them. Like, I literally had to turn down, I turned down a total of 7 people, and that was wild. And because, you know, like, this is like peak time, everybody's going to Miami, spring break, this and that, everyone wants their hair done. And I was just like blown away, because I'm like, wow, like, why does this person keep rescheduling? Like, it's really not that. And especially because, like, my tape-ins, I feel like I charge a good decent amount compared to everybody else in my area. Like, for tape-ins, I charge $215. I've seen them be done for $3 something, $4 something. So it's like, I don't know what people want me to do at this point. Like, I really don't. I don't know if I was in the wrong. I don't think I was in the wrong, because it's my policy. My policy is my policy, and I try to be very communicative and responsible, reasonable, and I communicate a lot. So it's like, there's no confusion. I just don't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, moral of the story, don't book a hair appointment if you don't have the hair yet. You know what I'm saying? It's quite that simple. Like, don't do that. Don't book an appointment when you don't have the hair, and then keep rescheduling a day before your reschedule or whatever, because you're taking away appointment times from people who could actually come to their appointment. Like, that's just the moral of the story. Like, it is no right or wrong. That is the moral of the story. Like, this is how I make my living. Okay, unless people want to acknowledge that being a hairstylist, lash tech, anything beauty industry related, whatever, is a real job or not, because a lot of people don't think this is a real job. They think it's a hobby. It's a real job. At least for me, it's a real job. It's my job. Like, it's what I do every day. But yeah, if you guys want more client horror stories, go ahead, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Bye.